Good evening. This is your 1-minute notice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 7:01 p.m. Welcome to tonight's Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of Monday, May 4th, 2026. Members of the Planning and Zoning Commission and the public may participate in the public hearing. All participants will be able to speak when called upon. At this time, I would like to explain the procedures to be followed during the meeting. The Commission has both a consent agenda and an agenda for consideration of individual items. Items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-contested. Item number 1, citizen comments, provides the opportunity for members of the public to address the Commission on items that are listed on the consent agenda. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and the Secretary will let you know when 1 minute is left. For all plats and plans conditionally approved or disapproved by the Commission, the applicant was provided a written statement of the conditions for the conditional approval or the reasons for disapproval. These conditions and reasons are not arbitrary. They are directly related to the requirements of Local Government Code Chapter 212 and include citations to the law that is the basis for the conditional approval or disapproval. For individual consideration items, I will call the applicant or his or her representative to present the case. The applicant will have up to 5 minutes to present the case, which includes all persons representing the application. Then those wishing to speak in favor and those wishing to speak in opposition will have up to 5 minutes each to present his or her comments. The applicant will have 5 minutes to answer questions or provide rebuttal if there is opposition. Prior to speaking, please give your name and city of residence. Remember to speak directly into the microphone, as this hearing is recorded for the public record. Any handouts you wish to provide should be given to staff. Applicants are not required to stay for the entire duration of the meeting and may leave once their item has been heard. The next meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission will be Monday, June 1st, 2026. And the next item on our agenda this evening is citizen comments on items listed on the consent agenda. April, has anyone signed up to speak on any item on the consent agenda?
No one signed up. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. So Secretary Myrick, would you please read the consent agenda into the record?
Yes, the only item we have for the consent agenda is the approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes of Monday, April 6, 2026.
Thank you. We have or I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion for approval of the commission minutes for Monday, April 6, 2026.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Please vote. Motion carries 8-0. And Secretary Myrick, will you read the consent agenda for disapprovals?
Yes, for disapprovals, I have 2026-102 PL Santos Ronnie Edition, located at 1301 Ronnie Drive.
Thank you. We'll take a motion to approve.
Is this for disapproval?
Disapproval.
Make a motion for disapproval for the reasons set forth in the staff memo.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion, a second. Please vote. And the motion carries 8-0. Now we'll move on to the individual items, and the first zoning case is zoning case 2025-213-ZC, MacArthur Marketplace. Is the applicant available? Would you like to come down and speak? You're good? Okay. Thank you. We did hear your case in work session, so if you don't have anything further to add, does the commission have any questions for the applicant? No question. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of the item? Is there anyone who'd like to speak in opposition to the item? I'll close this item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion. Okay, no further discussion. I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve zoning case 2025-213-ZC and move forward to City Council on May 7th for approval.
Second.
Thank you very much. We have a motion, a second. Please vote. And the motion carries 8-0. So congratulations, you now have a recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission, which will go to City Council, scheduled for May 7th. So they will take the final vote on that evening. You're welcome. Thank you, sir. So we have two items that are a companion case. One is the comprehensive plan case 2026-52CP. Is the applicant present? Thank you. Your case was discussion work session. I don't know if you were there or not. Yes, I was. Okay. So with your name and city of residence?
My name is Adam Koinga. I'm president of Hoffman Planning. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Yes. Okay. Good. I've always wanted to do that. My name's Adam Koinga. I'm president of Hoffman Planning Associates, and I live in Oceanside, California. I'm here with Michael Hugh. He's a representative of Tesla. And we did get to sit in on the work session, so we got to hear some of your comments and concerns today. So I guess I'll just jump right into it. And can I confirm, do we have 10 minutes or 5?
You have 10 if you want to take it with a zoning case.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take them together and
Thank
we'll
you.
see how fast we can go. But yeah, first off, thank you for hearing us tonight. And as you guys know, this is for the robo-taxi that Tesla is starting to develop in different cities around the country. They're excited to hopefully bring this to Irving. We think it's a good location. This site specifically would be for minor service repairs, software updates. I'm going to let Michael get into the operations because that's kind of his territory more than mine. And I'm just hoping to talk a little bit about some of the concerns with the planning and zoning, with the future land use and the zone change that we're proposing for this site. As Gina had mentioned in her presentation to you, we're proposing an ML20A light industrial zone. It's currently zoned as freeway. And as she mentioned, most of the surrounding properties, I think all but maybe one, are also ML20A at this time. Some have site plans with certain caveats, but it's surrounded by ML20A uses, and it's currently in the future land use designation of business office, and we're proposing to switch that to manufacturing warehouse to align the land use with the zoning. As Gina had mentioned, this facility was recently updated. If you look, I don't know if you've looked at Google Maps. When I first checked it out, it looks very different when you're poking around on Street View. It's a new facility. They did a major renovation of the whole premises, and it is primarily geared towards kind of the warehouse manufacturing uses. If you look, there's a lot of loading bays and stuff, not typically something you would see for a potential business or office kind of park as the future land use is kind of proposing. Gina also mentioned, and this was news to me today, that there's several demo cases where the new buildings that are going to be coming in are also warehouse, kind of manufacturing-esque buildings. And so it seems like there's a slight disconnect between what city council has directed and what's kind of being developed on these sites by the people who own them for potential uses. I know by where we're located, there's been a lot of, empty kind of commercial office buildings, and a lot of people are trending towards more, spaces that are industrial in nature, either for the rent, maybe being cheaper, or because it gives them options to have some office, some workspace that they can, pursue whatever use that they're doing, either manufacturing. So it's almost these hybrid uses. And that's kind of the case here. Tesla's proposing, office space. They're proposing the light kind of service auto, it's cleaning, it's software updates, it's some parts replacement. There's no oil changes because they don't have oil. There's no exhaust system on these vehicles, so it's not anything to do with that kind of stuff. It's very much, it's not necessarily an industrial use, more so of like a service use, I would classify it. But we were guided to this zone and land use because it is new and it doesn't fit anywhere. We've encountered this problem in other cities. People are just seeing this new use and saying, we don't have a place for this in our code right now. And so we've been, working with different groups and cities to try to find, how can we best make this fit with your city, but also ensure that it's not going to be impactful to the surrounding uses. So we've worked extensively with the landlord. They've looked at it with their land use council to see if it would affect any other users that they have on the site, and they're in support of the project as well. They think it's a good use. Like I said, it's fully electric, so these vehicles aren't emitting any harmful, GHG gases or anything like that. They're quiet. All the maintenance and all that will be taking place within the buildings. And so I understand we thought there might be a path forward with a commercial zone here, but we were told that there has to be an on-site commercial component, so that didn't really pan out. But from Tesla's perspective, we're willing to kind of try to find the proper path to work with you. And we know that, the fear is that if we can get over the, public safety concerns that were raised, that Tesla is working with fire department and their team is involved already. The fear is that we get to this point where we come back and we've addressed those public safety concerns, but then this future land use item is still kind of on the board where, it could fit, but if there's clear direction from council where they're not wanting us to go that, then it's going to be hard for Tesla to continue to pursue this type of project with that kind of variability involved. So hoping to find, a path forward. Like we said, we're willing to work with the city and staff and with the landlord to hopefully, pursue this project at this location because it's a good spot for them for their operations. And I'm going to pass it to Michael now to talk a little bit about those operations.
Good evening, Commissioners. I was just wondering if you guys have access to the slides that we also shared. There's like 3 slides.
Yes, slides, as opposed to a presentation?
Like a presentation slides. Did you guys receive that? No?
Give us a second.
Yep.
Thanks, Michael. Can you tell us your name and city of residence for the record?
Yeah, Michael Hugh. I'm based in Austin, Texas.
Thank you.
Yeah, this looks to be it. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give some insight here into our proposed robotaxi operations. I'm part of Tesla's infrastructure and development team, so I'm the design manager for this project. I'd like to preface that Tesla is an EV manufacturer of both consumer vehicles and more recently company-owned robotaxis. The facility that we're proposing here today is a bit of a departure from Tesla's typical customer-facing sales, service, delivery locations where you might take your Tesla vehicle or pick up a new car or visit a showroom to learn more about our vehicles. Today, what's showing on the screen is what we're proposing is a purpose-built facility in Irving that's utilized for cleaning, service, maintenance, and charging of our robotaxis. If you go to the next slide, this is just showing.
You have access to the mouse if you pull the keyboard out
Cool.
in the drawer, yeah.
Perfect, thank you. This next slide here, this shows where the offsite lot is in relation to the site. As you can see, it's pretty close by. The building is 36,000 square feet, and we intend to utilize that offsite parking lot as sort of a queuing area before and after vehicles go to get served or maintained. So just diving into our operations a bit, the main purpose of the building, as noted, was for vehicle queuing. So vehicles will come in, they'll be queued before they get cleaned. These are daily safety checks and interior cleaning of the cars, any dirt and grime, as well as the exterior of the car will be washed. As well as there's a safety component or service component, just like a normal Tesla facility. There's service lifts utilized for light maintenance, such as tire alignment or wheel alignment, tire changing, and just high-level diagnostics for vehicles. We also have parts and storage in this building, again, for servicing the cars, as well as an office area for Tesla employees and personnel that are supporting robotaxi operations, kind of in Irving. And we've designed our building in a way, or selected this site in a way such that we have queuing inside and at that offsite lot, which is very close by, so it prevents any queuing in that truck court area as well as on the streets. We did also see that Fire Chief Connolly did share that letter voicing some concerns about first responder issues, and then our fire protection engineering team as well as our robotaxi first responder outreach team has been in contact with him. We are trying to build that relationship now and try and schedule these training sessions. This is stuff that we've done in Austin as well as Dallas, where we've deployed already. We just have not done that yet in Irving, since we're still a good ways away from actually deploying robotaxis, but we're hoping that this facility will allow us to actually get to that point. That's pretty much it. Are there any questions about our operations?
One of the questions I got is, did you see the letter from the chief of police?
Yes, we did receive that today.
Okay.
And our first responder outreach team will be in contact with them as well, pretty much exactly like with the fire department. We will host on-site training sessions with our autopilot team as well.
Okay.
We're just working to actually get that scheduled, and we're meeting with them, I think, on Wednesday.
Can you go back to the first slide? So this building that's in the middle, are you all taking that space too, or just what's around the red box?
Just what's around the red box, so the building, the end cap of the building, roughly 35,000 square feet, and then the parking lot far away, that's 200 stalls.
Okay, so are we looking at changing for these two spaces versus the entire area?
The base zoning is currently freeway, and so it would change everything else to the ML 20A.
Plus those other buildings.
Yeah, and then add the autonomous vehicle dispatch storage. So that's what the SP zoning would be.
About how many vehicles will you be having there?
We estimate approximately a few 1,000 vehicles to be able to be serviced from one location such as this. So that's our kind of estimate at this point.
Now, this is only for robotaxi,
Indeed.
not
just-
for regular.
Yeah, this would be a purpose-built facility for robotaxi. We do have other customer-facing locations where you could get your Tesla car serviced elsewhere. This one would just be dedicated for that, just since the operations are quite different, and this one's more like high volume or much faster throughput, since each robotaxi will be coming here every day for that like daily cleaning, daily safety check.
And will this be serving just the city of Irving, robotaxi?
This will be serving robotaxi vehicles. I'm not sure exactly how far they would deploy in this area. We would call it like the geofence of the Dallas-Fort Worth region. The intent is to actually utilize like our other facilities as well, not bring all thousands of robotaxis just to this facility, since it wouldn't be able to handle it. So we'd also use our other like infrastructure that's already built to kind of handle and spread out.
But isn't it currently where the autonomous vehicle just service like one city, for example, like, or parts of the city, like just like downtown Austin, for example? They don't go across highways usually. Isn't that the case?
I wouldn't say the vehicles are restricted to a certain area, like let's say a vehicle, a robotaxi that's dispatched out of here. I'm not sure exactly how far it would go, if it would go outside of Irving. It probably would, I would imagine.
Now, y'all currently gonna be renting out the space, right?
Yes, we would be leasing this space.
Now, why did y'all pick this spot in particular?
I believe the proximity close to the airport and just the new shell nature of it, and the fact that it has that ample parking for us to queue our vehicles. Again, we don't want our vehicles to be stuck in congestion or traffic either, and we want them to have higher utilization. So if there's periods of high traffic, we do intend on utilizing that parking lot to kind of queue vehicles before they actually go onto the road, if they're like ready to go onto the road and are clean. But like, we've done a traffic simulation exactly around this site to show that right around 5 o'clock or like the morning peak hours, there's no real point in dispatching cars around then, because it's such high traffic actually getting onto the highway there on the little road that you can see on the bottom left.
If this was approved, how soon do you anticipate these robotaxis will be on the market?
This facility, we would, if we could get this one approved through the rezone process, we're hoping by end of year would be the intent to get this up and running and deploy vehicles out of.
In regards to the concerns about noise, like we have seen some of the videos and on just the honking, I guess is more of the issue here, because I mean, how are you addressing those issues, or how have you all addressed it before?
Yeah, I've seen all those videos of our competitors in San Francisco. We do have a large presence of like remote operators available in both California and Texas that are able to advise and see if there's anything going kind of crazy. And we haven't had that situation happen yet in Austin or the Bay Area where we are deployed. So ideally that doesn't happen. And it is kind of caused by, I did see those videos, and it's kind of located in really like dense downtown parking lots. This one's a little different where, again, it's a little more industrial per se, where there ideally isn't that much queuing at night and blocking roads, because ideally there aren't that many people kind of living exactly here. So,
And what will be the hours of operation?
the intent would be 24-hour operations, because the higher volume traffic actually at this facility and the maintenance and cleaning would be at night, because that's when there's not that many riders on the road, and that's the good point to actually clean the cars before the morning when they can be dispatched to capture that morning rush.
So if there was any concern about noise, and there will be somebody already on site to be able to address it?
Oh yeah, there would be people on site at night. Everyone will be there actually cleaning the cars.
Thank you.
Did you say that you all had a location in Dallas already?
We have deployed a small volume of vehicles, I think a handful of cars in Dallas. Correct, yeah.
Where are you all located at in Dallas?
They are operating out of our existing Tesla center in Dallas. I'm not sure exactly.
Dealership?
Yeah.
One of the things the staff mentioned was the possibility of a 3-month sort of postponement. So I just wanted to find out, are y'all this evening wanting us to send this on to the council one way or the other, or are you asking for those 3 months?
That is a tough question because we do know that the council kind of has the concerns about like this general future land use being office business. We would like to utilize some time to get the police and fire departments kind of in support of our project before we go to city council, as we would like to have them, again, in support before we kind of go in and getting that approval. So I think so. If there's a chance, if there's a path forward to get through like the actual business office kind of rezone aspect that we think is a little challenging as well as getting those departments on our side, we could potentially use that time to delay the city council meeting.
Okay. So you are asking for, I mean, the staff had mentioned a 3-month extension or a postponement. And that is what you're asking for tonight? Or not? I mean, that's where I'm really,
I wondered if he should answer.
yeah.
And maybe we can brainstorm here, because I don't know what option. I think Gina said we have to go to council this week because it was, is that correct? Like we don't have a choice?
Well, I mean, if we don't vote on it tonight, if we postpone, you don't go to council.
Okay.
So until we
Yeah,
vote on it.
And, because that's an interesting, as I had mentioned, and as Michael's been mentioning, it's hard for us, or hard for Tesla to agree to keep going, with the public safety and addressing those concerns, which we think are very addressable, if there's essentially a line that's been drawn and that future land use is a non-starter for council. That's hard to, pivot to 4 months of work.
Yeah,
when
if it's a
there's
definite no from council, then there's no reason to wait.
And so I don't know if it's, I mean, I understand you guys have to make a recommendation. And to me, it's like, I'd like to maybe get in front of council to kind of talk about, how firm that is. Because it sounds to me like it's semi-recent, the last, handful of years. But just to kind of discuss, these new uses, the ones that are being demoed and brought in, they're warehouse-esque buildings. These are warehouse-esque buildings. We understand that there's this, desire for kind of an office building use there, but the reality is that it's not trending that way. And I don't know if that's a very candid discussion, like, can you, consider changing? And I don't know how we get to that point with them without you guys making a recommendation. And I'm assuming, if we get there, we could ask for a continuance with council, so.
Are there other tenants in this building?
There are some, I don't remember who they are, but we've discussed with the landlord and made sure that their activities, their uses are not affected by the switch, and they've confirmed with their land use council that those other businesses are not going to be impacted by a change from freeway to light industrial.
And Gina, I don't know if I saw, did the landlord actually put any recommendation into the packet at all? Nothing? Okay.
Any further discussion or questions for Adam and Michael? Okay, is there any? Chief Hogan?
Madam Chair, Council, Jeff Hogan, Irving Fire Department. The fire department is requesting a delay, just in that right now, whatever contact we've had has been minimal. It's nothing much more than emails, I believe. And we really need something more substantial when it comes to a response side to the operations of not only what's going to be stored in the facility, but the vehicles as well. So we are requesting that delay.
Thanks, Chief. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this item? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the item? I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
If there's no,
Yeah. So I can't support this without knowing the answers in terms of, fire and police having a chance to weigh in and to evaluate it and look at it, get those questions answered. But I also understand your dilemma that you can't really financially move forward with the work that it'll take to do that without having some sense that there's at least some chance that you would get an approval. Looking at the location makes sense to me in terms of what you have in mind. But again, I don't know what the council, where their sense of this is either. They may, at the next meeting, be inclined to just deny it outright, and then it's not an issue. It's not an issue for fire or police or for you all, because you all go on to the other things you do. So I'm in favor of moving this on to the council. I will vote against it because we don't have the information. But that's just where I stand on this.
if there's no further,
Well, I believe a postponement is the right proposal at the time, so that they have the time to address the concerns they have with fire and police. And as well, you can get it done, within this month. You may be back in June, so it doesn't have to be 3 months. That's what I will think.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, is doing a postponement and giving them time to work with fire as well as police. And then also just making sure that the landlord actually comes on record saying that he doesn't have any issue and it's not going to impact any of the other people before changing a zoning that you've got tenants already in. Those are my thoughts.
okay, if there's no further, there's another.
I'm going to weigh in on the fact that this is a land use question that's been put in front of us, and the recommendation from staff and past city council has been that it's business and office. So I do feel we should be looking at it from a land use perspective and not necessarily Tesla. So
Debbie, one thing I would say is it looks like that building has been changed. So it's going to be kind of hard for it just to be business, because the building is a warehouse. Yeah.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'd like to move comprehensive plan case 2026-52-CP to City Council for denial.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Please vote.
It's going to be split. 4-4.
So the motion for denial has passed 6-2. This is not the end of the road. This gets you where you want to be 2 days from now, 3 days from now in front of City Council, where they'll take a final vote then. So it does get you in front of, if we postponed it, you wouldn't be in front of City Council. Yeah, and City Council can postpone. So I think this actually gives you the option that you really would prefer at this point.
I prefer just to talk to council, and then if we need to postpone at that point, make that request.
Perfect.
Thank you for your understanding. Do we need to do the?
No, you got to do the, hold on a minute,
Hold on
sir.
a second. We're going to go through the formality of the zoning case, if you don't mind. Okay, so Now we're on to zoning case 20265-51-ZC. We've heard your case both in the work session and public hearing. Do you have any other comments to make? Okay, thank you. Anyone else who'd like to speak in favor of the option of this item? No? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the item? Okay, I'll close the item and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
If there's no further discussion amongst commissioners, I'd like to move zoning case 2026-51-ZC to the city council for denial.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to deny. Please vote. Thank you very much. The motion is to deny 6-2, and we thank you guys both for coming from California and Austin, and we'll see you Thursday. Okay, zoning case 2026-57-ZC. This case has been withdrawn, but we'll just hold the public hearing in any case. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this item? Anyone in opposition? So the case is withdrawn by the applicant, so we'll move on to the next case. We are now at Comprehensive Plan Amendment Case 2026-112-CP. The applicant for this case is actually the city, and the commission is not going to act on the case at this time, but we will hold a public hearing for the case. Anyone who would like to speak in favor? Anyone in opposition? Seeing none, at this time, I will ask for a motion to postpone to the June 1st hearing.
I'll make a motion to postpone Comprehensive Plan 2026-112-CP to June 1st, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. So the motion passes to postpone this case to the Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing on June 1st. The companion case is 2026-58-ZC. The city is also the applicant for this case. The commission can't act on the case at this time, but we'll hold the public hearing anyway. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone in opposition to the item? All right, I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for any discussion or a motion.
If there's no further discussion amongst the commissioners, I'd like to move zoning case 2026-58-ZC to our June 1st meeting. Postpone it till June 1st.
A second.
Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. The motion passes 8-0 to postpone to the public hearing for planning and zoning on June 1st. Final case this evening is 2026-82-ZC. This case is also postponed to the Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing on June 1st, but we'll hold the public hearing regardless. Tonight, does the commission have any, well, the applicant's not here, correct? Okay, no applicant. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anyone in opposition to the case? So seeing none, I'll move to close the item to the floor, return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
If there's no discussion, I'd move the zoning case 2026-82-ZC for postponement to the June 1st hearing.
A second.
We have a motion, a second. Please vote to postpone. And the motion carries 8-0 to postpone to the Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing on June 1st. And thank you all very much. Meeting is adjourned at 7:39 p.m.